Hey guys, and welcome to the final practice quiz for the A+ 1201 exam, this time focusing on exam objective 5.6. That's right guys, we made it to the end. Let's get straight to the first question and see how we go. Okay, the first question reads, you are an IT technician in an office that uses both inkjet and laser printers. Recently, users have reported that documents printed on both devices show unwanted lines that degrade print quality. On the inkjet printer, horizontal streaks persist even after the built-in cleaning cycle is run. Which pair of actions should you take next? A. For the inkjet, replace the ink cartridges immediately. For the laser, run the built-in cleaning cycle. B. For the inkjet, run another cleaning cycle using the inbuilt cleaning function, and for the laser, replace the toner cartridge and refresh the heating element. C. For the inkjet, ignore the issue since it may resolve over time, and for the laser, replace the paper trays. Or D. For the inkjet, manually clean the print heads using a lint-free cloth, and for the laser, replace the drum units. A lot there to take in, guys. Pause the video now if you need more time. Your answer coming in 3, 2, 1. It's going to be D. For the inkjet, manually clean the print heads using a lint-free cloth. For the laser, replace the drum unit. Guys, it's just a matter of knowing what causes lines to occur on the page in both of these different types of printers, okay? It's going to be different for the inkjet and for the laser because they both work differently. For the inkjet, we've already run the built-in cleaning cycle, okay? So, therefore, we know lines are caused by clogged print heads potentially, and it could just be that the automatic cleaning cycle is not doing that job well enough. Maybe they're particularly clogged, so you may have to take them out, clean them yourself, put them back in, see if that resolves the issue. Okay, if it does, great. Good first troubleshooting step. For the laser, what causes lines in a laser printer, guys? It's going to be generally a scratch on that photosensitive drum. Remember, the laser paints that photosensitive drum where it wants the toner to stick to, and the toner will stick and then be transferred onto the paper. But if there's a scratch, that toner is not going to stick in that spot. Therefore, there will be a line in that particular location, all right? So therefore, replacing that drum is what you're going to want to do with an with a laser printer as well. So that's why that was the best option. So that one just comes down to knowing what causes that issue in both of those printers. Hopefully that made sense. We'll go on to the next question, which reads, you're an IT support technician in a busy office. The primary printer is frequently jamming, interrupting document printing. What should you do first? A. Reboot the printer, run a cleaning cycle for the print heads, and replace ink cartridges. B. Update the printer firmware, reinstall printer drivers, and adjust the print resolution settings. C. Open the printer panels to inspect the paper path and remove any jammed or misaligned sheets. Or D. Increase the paper load in the tray and use lower quality paper to boost throughput. Pause the video if you need more time. Your answer coming in 3, 2, 1. Boom. It's going to be C, guys. If you have frequent jamming, you're going to want to inspect the inside of that printer, look at the paper path and remove any jammed or misaligned sheets, and also look for anything that could be clogging that path as well, right? That's going to be your best bet. If you're getting paper jammed, you're going to want to clear that paper path. That's going to be the first step. And from there, you can go. Rebooting the printer and cleaning the print heads for option A is not going to fix potential blockages. Option B, printer firmware, reinstalling drivers, and adjust the print resolution settings. The first two maybe, but a more simple one. Remember, you always start with the most basic and then go to the more complicated ones. More simple one is just clearing that paper path, okay? Then maybe you might identify that, oh, actually the firmware is a bit off and that's why it's not like printing properly, some very ultra specific issue. But no, not the most correct answer in this particular point, because option C is just more likely and it's way simpler. And if we haven't done that yet, we should probably do that next. Option D, increase the paper load in the tray and use low quality paper. No. You don't want to increase the paper load because that, if anything, might make it more likely that you'll have a jam. And then low quality, you need to have good quality, particularly in a professional environment, and that won't help at all. So guys, hopefully that made sense. Let's go to the next one, which reads, in a busy office, you receive several complaints that a specific printer is not consistently feeding paper. Which combination of troubleshooting actions best addresses the potential causes of the paper feeding issue? A. Check the printer settings to adjust print quality and document formatting, and then update the printer driver. B. Replace the paper tray and recalibrate the printer's alignment settings. C. Inspect the feeder rollers for signs of wear or damage and verify that the paper path is clear from obstructions. Or D, restart the printer, run a hardware diagnostic, and replace the toner cartridge if needed. Your answer coming in 3, pause the video if you need to. 2, seriously pause the video. 1, pause it now, last chance, let's go. C, inspect the feeder rollers for signs of wear or damage and verify that the paper path is clear from obstructions. Again, guys, if you are not getting paper feeding through, it's going to be the feeder rollers that's the most likely issue, so they're going to be the first thing you want to check, all right? So you can see now we're starting to catch onto the theme of here's an issue, what's the most likely thing that causes that issue, and based on that, what should I check first? That's essentially like the triangle of troubleshooting in general, right? What's the issue? What most likely causes that issue? Based on that, what should I check first? Okay, and then you kind of repeat, that didn't work. Okay, what's the issue? What's the next most simple thing I can check? And you just continually go through that. In this case, the feeder rollers are the most simple, most intuitive thing that makes sense if the paper isn't feeding through. Next question reads, you are an IT support technician in a mid-sized office where employees report that several print jobs are stuck in the queue, preventing new print tasks from processing. Which sequence of actions will most effectively resolve the issue of multiple print jobs being stuck in the queue? A, restart the print spooler service and review the event viewer logs for error details. B, reboot the printer hardware and run its built-in diagnostic tool to automatically clear the queue. C, cancel all pending print jobs from the printer's control panel and update the printer driver. Or D, disconnect and reconnect the printer from the network, then reinstall the printing software. Pause the video if you need more time. Your answer coming in 3, 2, 1. Now, the answer is A, restart the print spooler service and review the event viewer logs for error details. Guys, if you have jobs piling up in the printer and it's not processing them, you're going to want to restart the print spooler, which is basically like clearing the print jobs and starting from scratch. And then you can have a look at the event viewer logs to see, hey, what actually caused the print spooler to freeze up? All right, that's going to be the best course of action. For your exam, just remember, if you've got a buildup of print jobs in the queue and it's not processing them, you're likely going to want to restart the print spooler service, okay? The other options, reboot the printer hardware, run diagnostic tool to automatically clear the queue. It's pretty intensive. Just try restarting the spooler first. Much more simple. Simple first and then more complex stuff. Option C, cancel pending print jobs from the control panel and update the driver. We don't know the driver's the issue. Let's just try restarting the spooler first and see if that fixes it. It's more simple, more basic, more easy. Option D, disconnect, reconnect the printer from the network and reinstall the printing software. Again, just like quite an intensive task, much longer, much more difficult than simply restarting the spooler. So let's start with the simple and basic and then make our way down the list towards the more complicated. All right. The next question reads, a user at your company reports that recent printouts from the laser printer display faint remnants of previous documents, an effect commonly known as a double or echo images. Which sequence of troubleshooting steps is most appropriate to resolve the double echo image issue? A, restart the printer, update the firmware, and reinstall the printer driver to ensure optimal processing. Or B, inspect the drum unit for any leftover toner or damage, gently clean the drum with a dry lint-free cloth or soft brush. Or C, remove and replace the ink cartridge immediately, ensuring to order the cartridges compatible with that specific model. Or D, clean the interior of the printer and recalibrate the print settings to eliminate any image ghosting. Pause the video if you need more time. Your answer coming in 3, 2, 1. It is B, inspect the drum unit for leftover toner or damage, gently clean the drum with a dry lint-free cloth or soft brush. So guys, if you've got faint or if you've got ghost, shall I say, images coming through on your laser printer, that's essentially because the photosensitive imaging drum has not properly been cleaned. Okay, generally you'd want to initiate the cleaning process. If that doesn't work, then you can try to manually clean it yourself. If that doesn't work, you're going to want to go down the list of more complicated steps. But essentially, right, just know for your exam, the main thing, ghost images or faint images being left over from the last print coming out in the next print is a result of that photosensitive drum not being cleaned properly. So you're going to need to clean that drum somehow, either manually or through the automated cleaning process. Try the automated one first and then go manual. All right. The other ones, restart the printer, update the firmware. Alrighty, guys, a lot of steps when we already know it's probably going to be the drum. There's no reason to believe it's a firmware issue, so that's not going to be the one. Option C, remove and replace the ink cartridge. Already, that's eliminated. Laser printers don't use ink cartridges. That's inkjets. Laser printers use toner. Okay, they don't use ink cartridges, they use toner. Option D, clean the interior of the printer and recalibrate the print settings to eliminate any image ghosting. Kind of vague, right? Clean the interior, okay. But option B was more specific. It said inspect and clean the drum. You don't want to just clean the entire interior, right? No, you want to specifically clean the drum. So option D is kind of like almost there, but option B was just more specific. Therefore, it's the more correct answer. All right. So next one reads, a user reports that the printer frequently loses connectivity and suspects this is a result of the printer's IP configuration. Which IP address type should you configure the printer with to eliminate the issue? A, dynamic IP address, B, static IP address, C, DHCP reservation, or D, a PIPA IP address. Pause the video if you need more time. Answer coming now. 3, 2, 1, let's go. It is going to be B, a static IP address. Guys, let's just go back and have a look at the different types of IP addresses here. So we've got dynamic. What does that mean? Dynamic means every time you join the network, you get a new IP address from the DHCP service reservation. That's not great for a printer because that means the IP address is going to change every time. So computers are not going to know what IP address to send the print jobs to. All right, they're not going to be able to access that printer. B, static IP address is where you manually set the IP address on the printer itself. That's going to be fantastic for a printer because the only way that's going to change is if you if you go to the printer manually and change it. So it's going to say static no matter what. C, DHCP reservation. It's where you reserve one specific IP address for that printer and it gets it every time it joins the network. It's still good. Static is better because it is set on the machine itself. It's pretty much never going to change. You can guarantee it's always going to be the same. All right. D, a PIPA IP address. Remember that. That's when the device fails to access a DHCP server and gives themselves a IP address where they cannot access the internet. So you're not going to want to intentionally set that. That's like a fail-safe kind of IP address if you can't find a DHCP server. No, so we want to give it a static IP address. It's the best option for devices such as printers that don't change and always need to be accessible across the network. Static is going to be the one. All right. So guys, look, here's how most people study for their A+ exam. You've probably heard this before from me, but what they do is they do a free course on YouTube and then they just skip to a full randomized practice exam and they wonder why their brain feels like it's about to explode. You're taking in a lot of information, not doing anything to try to remember it, and then testing yourself on it a few weeks later. Of course, you're not going to do well. Have some structure to your routine by doing this instead. Watch your free course. After every single video, do some basic active recall questions to solidify that information, and then go on and do some practice multiple choice questions to further solidify that information and have a go right after you watch that video, right? Really solidify that knowledge. And then once you've done that for every single exam objective, you can do those randomized practice tests to see how you're going. If you want help doing that, you can go ahead and grab my learning guide where you get notes and practice questions broken down by every single exam objective. You could get 11 performance-based questions in total as well. You get 3 randomized practice exams where I take those questions, put them in randomized format with performance-based questions. You get a tracking spreadsheet to let you know whether or not you are actually ready to take the exam. You get a video showing you how to study properly with multiple choice questions, how to use AI tools to study, how to actually implement some specific tactics when you're taking your exam with those multiple choice questions. So, and here's what people are saying about it. Your learning guides have helped me pass my CompTIA A+. It helps with organized information and helps me piece things together more easily. I downloaded your learning guide. I can already see it will help immensely with studying. I tried other popular resources but struggled absorbing the material. Your notes definitely helped me pass my test today. If you want to be like these guys, if you want to walk into that exam room with confidence, you can get my learning guide in the description or in the pinned comment down below. With that being said, guys, you can also download a free practice exam that's down there. Again, not as a primary study tool, just to see where you're at, okay? And from there, if you want my learning guide, go for it. If you want to get that free practice exam, go for it. Completely free, no strings attached. And that's pretty much it, guys. So at this point, you've gone through my content for this. I'm going to keep putting out the quizzes. I'm going to keep putting out the performance-based questions. But functionally, you are done. So your next step from here, I want you to identify your weak areas for every exam objective. Go back and try to restudy them. Keep doing the multiple choice questions. Keep going through the active recall questions until you can confidently answer every single question. Ideally in the complex method that I've talked about in some of my other videos. If you haven't seen that, you can check them out on my channel. The complex method of answering multiple choice questions. Okay, so fill in those gaps. Once you feel confident going through every exam objective individually, then try the randomized practice exams. Once you've done those and you're feeling good, then go on to the performance-based questions. Once you've done those and you're feeling good, then try, if you want, I also have performance-based question simulations as part of my learning guide package. But otherwise, guys, once you've kind of gone up the ladder in that way, you're pretty much good for your real thing. So I wish you guys the best of luck. If you do get my learning guide and you pass, please let me know. I always love hearing positive feedback from you guys. Otherwise, good luck, guys. I know you're going to kill it. You've put in the work. Keep putting in the work, okay? You've gained all the knowledge. Now you've just got to make sure it's solid by circling back, closing those gaps, and you're gonna kill it. I can't wait to hear that you pass. See you guys, and see you in the 1202, hey? Exciting stuff. Bye.